This is the design of the excuse, I am only human. This is the most prominent excuse of human beings as mind consciousness systems within this world, validating and justifying their failures, limitations, and inferiorities, including accepted and allowed enslavement. The more human beings are just going to use the phrase, oh, but I'm only human, that is like saying whatever you've done is acceptable and it's okay, and that it can just fly by and be left and no one will remember anything. It's literally like George Bush. He's able to say, but I am only human. Just like every other human being says when they make a mistake, or, but literally, hear me, when a human being says, but I am only human, in that moment they're making a justification and a validation, using that as an excuse for the reason of what they've accepted and allowed themselves to become. Accepting and allowing the limitations and the enslavement of not only themselves to their mind system, but also themselves to the entire situation they've participated in and experienced, wherein something happened, they did something apparently wrong, which is known as a mistake, and then nothing is done to the situation or the participation or the experience in any way whatsoever. All that happens is the being just goes, but I am only human. Instead of standing up and taking responsibility for self in that moment, in correcting what has happened within that moment of the mistake that has been made, to correct that mistake that has been made in that moment, so that when such a scenario comes again, that you have prepared the way before you from the perspective that you will not make the same mistake again, that you will walk through it, transcend that point, transcend that moment, and expand yourself accordingly. But instead, human beings make apparent mistakes, and to not stand up within yourself, to not take self-responsibility, to not assist and support yourself, and to be able to transcend that point and with which you made a mistake, to expand yourself within you, human beings stand back and just look at the whole situation, almost like saying, oh, but it's not my fault. I don't have to take responsibility. I'm only human. And so human beings constantly and continuously just suppress and pull inside and stand back and wait and then hope that this world will fix itself. And then human beings go and lash out their anger and resentment at George W. Bush when he's but an example of exactly what you're doing. Just as easily being able to use the justification, excuse, and validation of what he's accepting and allowing within him and to be done unto this world, also able to say, but I'm only human. Step back and not take yourself responsibility. So, human beings, I suggest have a look at when that but I'm only human comes up in your mind. You'll actually feel that statement come up in your mind in the back of your head here. You stop it immediately because it is unacceptable. When you say, but I'm only human, really? So what you're actually saying, oh, I'm just a mind consciousness system. I'm enslaved by this thoughts, feelings, and emotions inside my head. I can't do anything, please. I'll just stand back and hope and pray and wish and dream that this world will sort itself out in some way or another. Human beings realize that we all face the consequences of what we have accepted and allowed within ourselves and in this world. Each and every single one, face to face, your own judgment day, so to speak. So by saying, I'm just only human, you're accepting yourself to be less than who you really are. You're speaking a judgment over yourself. You're actually then like literally cutting off your own hands, disempowering yourself to the most absolute extent possible in speaking such words, and then accepting and allowing it as acceptable and okay to speak them. Human beings, stop using the excuse, validation and justification of, but I am only human. Start standing up inside yourself, take self-responsibility, and don't accept anything less than who you are. Don't speak a judgment over yourself. Why do that? Start living, start taking responsibility for yourself, for the mistakes that you made. Jesus Christ, it's not so bad. When you make a mistake, you look at everything and everyone involved, you take self-responsibility, you stand up within yourself, you face those beings, you apply self-forgiveness, you direct yourself, you don't accept anything less than who you are. You stand as one as equal as you in every moment of every breath, as all as one as equal. And you take self-responsibility for yourself. Stop using the excuse, but I'm only human. And realize that each one will face all the consequences of what they've accepted and allowed within themselves and within this world as themselves. There is no escape, there is no running away. Each one will come face to face with themselves. Because we cannot continue this way within this world, within ourselves, which we are accepting and allowing to manifest and occur and be experienced not only by ourselves but by everyone else in this world. And the only way we're stopping this is by stopping the mind and taking self-responsibility for you within yourself and within your world. Thank you very much.